Let me tell you, if you'd asked me a year ago what the weirdest thing a homeowners association president's kid could do at 6 in the morning, I probably would have guessed mow the lawn in boxers or TP someone's mailbox for fun. Never in a million years would I have said call 911 on the new guy over a smart lock, then try to break into his pool while the cops show up. But that's exactly what happened to me, and believe me, that smart lock was the best $200 I ever spent, ended up costing someone else a whole lot more than that too. So let's rewind a bit. After 5 years of grinding out code until sunrise and living off enough Red Bull to kill a horse, I finally sold my startup and bought a little slice of paradise, a 2-acre property in Oak Creek Estates, complete with this gorgeous infinity pool overlooking the pines. I thought I'd finally made it, you know. The first couple weeks were absolute bliss, waking up to birds instead of slack pings, swimming laps at sunrise, and just enjoying the kind of peace and quiet you only dream about when you're stuck in a cubicle. But perfect never lasts. Monday morning, coffee in hand, I step out to the pool and instantly something feels off. Lounge chairs are moved, wet spots all over the deck, but there's no rain. I tell myself I'm being paranoid, but then I check the skimmer basket and there it is. A used condom floating right alongside the leaves. My hands shake as I fish it out. Then I find 6 empty White Claw cans in the trash. I don't even drink. Cigarette butts ground into my perfect patio and what looks suspiciously like dried vomit behind a planter. Somebody, or more likely, a whole crowd of somebodies, has been using my pool. And not for swimming laps, let's just say that. I go full detective mode, check every gate, every lock, nothing broken. Then I remember the rusty old security camera the previous owner left. I scrubbed through hours of boring footage until Saturday night around 11 p.m. And there it is. Car after car pulls up, kids piling out, and right at the gate like he's running a club. Is this dude I'll later learn is Chad. He's literally taking cash from everyone before letting them in. Clearly got a copied key or code. What I see next makes my blood boil. Partying, drinking couples, hooking up, someone puking into the pool cans tossed in my garden. And Chad at the end of the night counting out a wad of cash that could cover my mortgage. I'm talking $1,000 in one night from my property. This wasn't a prank, this was a business. Next day I buy the best smart lock I can get. Integrated camera, instant alerts, all the bells and whistles. Install it myself, put up a private property, no trespassing sign, and figure that'll end it. Problem solved, right? 2 hours later there's pounding on my front door like the SWAT team has arrived. I open up to this woman who looks straight out of Suburban Nightmare Central Casting, bleach blonde bob, oversized sunglasses, and the attitude to match. Before I can say a word, she jabs a finger in my face. I am Barbara Whitman, president of the Oak Creek Estates HOA, and that electronic monstrosity violates Section 7.3.2 of our standards. She waves a paper, an HOA violation. I've got 48 hours to remove my lock or face $500 daily fines. I try to explain about the parties, the trespassing, but she cuts me off. If you have security concerns, submit a request to the board. You can't just lower our property values with your tech junk. She storms off. My neighbor Arthur, who's at least 80, catches me outside and shakes his head. That's her favorite rule. Made it up last year when the Johnsons tried to get a video doorbell. She lost everything in the Dragon Plaza deal. Now the HOA is all she's got. Then he leans in, lowers his voice. Her son Chad, he's the one running those pool parties. Been doing it for years. $50 a head, sometimes more for special events. Previous owner barely lived here and Chad's girlfriend worked for the property manager. Keys, codes, the works. Suddenly I'm seeing it all. This wasn't just some neighborhood kids messing around, this was a racket. For a couple days things go quiet. Too quiet. Then early Thursday morning, I'm pouring coffee when I hear yelling by the pool gate. I pull up the camera and sure enough, there's Chad and 3 buddies all with pool bags trying to yank the gate open. One girl's whining about promising a sunrise swim to someone named Ashley and her photographer. Chad's losing his mind over the lock. Then suddenly he looks at the camera, pulls out his phone and dials 911. This kid, 21 years old, starts performing for the camera. There's a man drowning in my neighbor's pool. He went under and he's not coming up. Please hurry. Hangs up. High fives his buddy. Cops will make him open it. Mom will handle the rest. 8 minutes later, cops roll in, sirens blaring. I meet them in my pajamas, coffee in hand. Sir, there's an emergency drowning. I just calmly invite them inside. Happy to open the gate, but you should see this first. Pull up the camera footage. Chadgate fake panic call. Empty pool. The officers' faces go from skeptical to furious in about 3 seconds. We step outside Chad's, ready for his big moment. Did you open the gate? Is he okay? The cop cuts him off. Sir, we need to discuss your emergency call. Chad stammers, tries to blame an app glitch, but the officer isn't buying it. We just watch the footage. The color drains from Chad's face. His friends start edging away, and before you know it, Barbara screeches into the driveway in her Mercedes. She tries every trick, tears, threats, guilt. Anything to get Chad off the hook, but it's no use. He gets officially warned for filing a false police report. Barbara shoots me a look that could melt concrete. You'll regret this. I know how to make people leave this neighborhood. And that's when the real war began. Next morning, cops show up again. Someone called in a noise complaint about me swimming laps at 7 a.m. The officers look embarrassed. Barbara's watching from her window with a smug grin. Later, she's on her knees, measuring my grass, snapping photos for social media. Some people think rules don't apply to them. By day 3, she's got photos of my security cameras posted online, painting me as some kind of Big Brother creep. Comments pile in, neighbors I've never met calling me dangerous. Then a thick envelope from her lawyer demanding $50,000 for emotional distress caused to Chad and threatening to sue if I don't remove the lock. At this point, I'm starting to wonder if paradise was worth it. Neighbors won't talk to me, parents pull their kids away if I walk by, and the HOA is coming after me from every angle. But then Arthur drops by with coffee and a story, shows me a photo of his granddaughter Stephanie. Last year, she went to one of Chad's parties, wound up with alcohol poisoning, nearly drowned. Arthur reported it to Barbara. Her response, kids will be kids. Maybe teach your granddaughter to handle her liquor. That's when he started documenting everything. Then he shows me a social media page, Paradise Pool exclusive. 5,000 followers, hundreds of party photos all taken at my pool. Weekly events, VIP access, $200 photo shoots, even Barbara's private swimming lessons at $100 an hour. I start digging, match every post to security footage, check the business records. Turns out Barbara and Chad are running a 6-figure illegal business, $200,000 a year at least, with all the money funneled through a shell company, BNC Entertainment. But it gets worse. Hospital records, missing person reports, kids ending up in the ER, all linked to these events. It's not just property violation, it's outright criminal. I gather every shred of evidence, videos, business filings, tax documents, witness statements, and I decide this needs to go public. So I sign up to speak at the next HOA meeting. 3 days later, Barbara opens the meeting with a motion to fine me, $5,000 for unauthorized cameras and hostile surveillance. The crowd eats it up. My turn comes. I hook up my laptop and start the show slides of the parties, cash changing hands. The Paradise Pool Instagram spreadsheets showing the profits, video of Barbara taking her cut. At first, the crowd is hostile. Then shock takes over. Parents see their kids in photos, realize how deep this goes. Barbara screams it's fake, but then I play the audio, her voice on tape, saying I handle the cops, the neighbors, the HOA. That's worth 80%. The place explodes. Parents demand answers. Someone calls the police, and as Barbara's trying to regain control, IRS agents and local cops step in, cuff her, and walk her out. Chad tries to bolt, but Arthur blocks the door. Going somewhere, Chad? The crowd gives me a standing ovation. By the next day, news vans are parked outside. Barbara's mugshot is all over TV, and the HOA holds emergency elections. New president, full audit, public apology, even a $10,000 settlement for my trouble. I use it to install AI-powered cameras and a warning sign, Chad Whitman detected equals automatic police response. Yes, Chad, that means you. Last week, Chad tried to get close again. Alarm blared, floodlights came on. He ran so fast he left his shoes. Arthur got it all on video. He uses it as his ringtone. And the cherry on top, a letter arrives. Congratulations, you've been elected HOA president. I almost spit out my coffee. Me, HOA president. After all that. After all. So that's how a $200 smart lock uncovered a $600, $1,000 crime ring, sent a president to prison, and landed me in charge of the very HOA I swore I'd never join. The lock Barbara called an eyesore ended up locking her behind bars for 5 to 7 years. What did we learn? Maybe nothing. Maybe don't mess with a coder on a caffeine bender. Or maybe just maybe sometimes it takes a little tech and a lot of stubbornness to get real justice. So what would you have done? Called the cops or gone public? Comment below and tell me whose side you're on. If your HOA president ever seems a little too interested in your pool, trust me, install the lock. You never know what secrets you'll find.